All right, it's a sport that deserves some coverage, and it's the San Francisco Dragons, the lacrosse entry. They are 5-2, second place in their conference, and they have a PR guy named Michael. I hope the owner's listening. This guy's terrific. You know, even if you don't want to talk to him, he forces his way in. Terrific guy, and hey, with a PR guy like Michael, the great Steve Holmes. That's why you're here, Steve. Let's face it.
Yeah, I got Michael to thank.
Terrific. Now, we're not a lacrosse hotbed here. Where is lacrosse really hot? I mean, where do people, you know, when you say that's lacrosse country?
Right. Well, I guess it all kind of started, you know, in Baltimore. That, you know, well, it started with the Native Americans, right, really. But Baltimore, you know, Long Island, that's really where it started. But, I mean, at this point where we are now, I mean, it's all up and down, really, the East Coast.
Where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Now, you've been out here a short time, right?
Correct.
So they bring you out to the Dragons I mean, why didn't you play for a team closer to home?
Well, I want to come out west, really. So I kind of had my fingers crossed, talked to San Fran guys before the draft, and was lucky enough to have them draft me, and so I decided to come out here, move out here.
All right, we'll look at the Dragons in action. You're off to a real nice start. If you don't mind me asking, you know, salaries are a part of professional life. We know at baseball, the average major league salary is like $2.5 million. NBA's about $3 million. NFL is certainly over $1 million. What's the average lacrosse player make?
A lot less than that. Peanuts compared to that. You know, really.
How much?
We're talking probably $7,500
for the season.
Yeah.
So you love this then?
Oh, absolutely. That's why we're all in it, all the guys, for the love of the game, and we love to see the league grow. We believe it can.
So you had to get another job when you came out here, obviously.
Yes, and I was actually lucky enough to work for the Dragons. You know, they kind of took me in, said, "You need something to do." I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Work for the Dragons, and yeah.
I'm gonna test your knowledge. Here's the one thing I know: who's considered the greatest lacrosse player of all time? You know?
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. Gary Gate would probably be one of those names.
No, Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, all right.
Jim Brown, that's all right.
Yeah.
No, Gary I had Gary Gates third on my all-time. No, who's Gary Gates?
Gary Gate, he's actually, well, he played for the Philadelphia Wings, so I know him pretty well.
But you know what I mean? I'm going way back. But
sure.
Jim Brown, you've probably heard some of the stories.
Oh, Jim Brown, absolutely.
Player.
Yeah, and they said, you know, he might be a better lacrosse player than he was a football player, which, I mean...
Let me ask you, why weren't you a football player?
Well, I was a football player for a long time. I actually went to the University of Virginia and played both sports my freshman year, redshirt in football. And I tell you, the reason that I stopped playing football is because I had lacrosse. You know, it's an easy sport. It's got a lot of similarities. You just missed Virginia's NCAA championship, huh? Yeah, just missed it by a year. But, you know, I was real close to the program. You know, I was in town, and, you know, it was a great thing to see there. And, you know, just a great group of guys, and they play the game the right way.
When can we see the San Francisco Dragons in action?
You can see them this Sunday against Los Angeles, which could be, you know, an instant rivalry right there. We haven't seen them yet this year, but I'm sure both teams will be out for blood.
All right, no, it would be great. And we have information on the Dragons, including how to buy tickets. The great blogger has adopted the Dragons. He's, you know, bloggers, right?
Yeah.
This guy just sits there and types all day. He's the one, the great Brian Shields. And there you go. You can get click, click, and all that stuff. Anyway, the bottom line, the Dragons, will you win a championship this year for the city of San Francisco in 7 seconds or less?
Yeah, you know, why not? I'll say, you know, that's our goal. I think we'll at least be there.
That's what we're looking for, Steve. He predicted a championship, Tom.
Yeah.
Catherine and Mike.
Joe Namath of lacrosse, right there. Thanks, guys.
Good night, everybody.